you got to worry about that with is like the DI coming in when you have two moves coming right after the other, like Gauntlet Inlight into Gauntlet Inlight. So you have to be a little bit more creative so that your opponent can't just DI out of your team combo. But, you know, players have gone around that and they have gotten more creative. But it seems like going in with the Brit pick, you're just going to completely avoid that. You're going to pick two extremely meta weapons. You're going to pick a great legend going into this one. And we're getting into this game one. Everything here makes sense, not only just for this region, but as for Brawlhalla Esports as a whole right now. Huge side signature, already getting a KO there. Is Keith going to be able to answer back? There's a ground pound, but it's on Vortex, not Plum. He's going back and forth. That side air completely splitting up the red team.
Yeah, 25-second stock, definitely a great way to start out if you are red team, taking that power stance right off the get-go. Ooh, look at Plum working over on the right side, finish off with the Sarah off the axe, trying to fish out that dare signature off the side. Keith is gonna catch that with the easy Sarah off the axe and going down from Vortex, gonna come up with the recovery, almost got the second one, but the Sarah is gonna go ahead and find its mark.
Yeah, Keith stood out there and wanted to continue chasing. The first recovery hit the top side sending up. He tried to get the second one on the top side sending up as well. That one missed as it was dodged through the turnaround side air, completely sending the red team member over to the left side of the stage. Blue team's looking great here. Red team's also looking pretty solid. We'll see if Keith is able to hold on to the stock. Hopefully he's able to do something with it. Like if you're in there, even if you hold on to this stock for 30 seconds and you're just like not doing anything, then ultimately that's bad for you. So then taking the stock loss would actually be better. That allows you to get back into the action.
Very true, very true. We're seeing this neutral gameplay here break out between these two teams. Ooh, nice move from Plum with that Sarah to go ahead and break everything up, get the damage off of his teammate. Oh, taxiivation trying to fight back on arm, taking a weapon throw to the face. Vortex and Plum gonna 2v1 Keith over on the left side, still not able to confirm that stock. Keith doing a great job tanking that Algrim, finally gonna fall as he comes in with that fresh stock. Ooh, taxiivation gonna fall as well, ouch.
That was like a 1 minute and 51 second stock for that first stock to get lost by Keith. Tax, he's on his final stock here. Let's see what he can do with this one. If they can get Plum and Vortex out here pretty quickly. There's one, there's Vortex. See if they come in to get Plum. Great weapon toss to break that up. That side light that hit KeithThePooPoo.
Reaching up unarmed. Okay, Keith's gonna go ahead and get that lance back in hand and immediately put the damage on Vortex. The confirmation on Plum off of the top of the knockout zone there. Oh, Keith trying to find his way back on the stage. Vortex coming up with a side light. Couldn't find anything off of it, though. Nice catch from taxiivation off the landing, though.
He did pick up his own teammate in that, so he didn't follow up too hard after in case he ended up hitting Keith. Keith now starting to take some serious damage. Nice follow-up with that turnaround neutral air. It wasn't like the final part of it that doesn't hit anymore. There's the side sync from Plum. Dodge through. They did get a dare. Dude, they're putting a lot of pressure on taxiivation here, but he's doing a good job. He hasn't taken any major KO moves until that potential desync that just made a connection. Weapon toss is actually going to bump, give taxiivation some room. He gets back, but he's sent over to the right side. Plum is chasing so hard.
Oh, nice out on recovery from taxiivation to get back up on stage. He needs to stay on this stage to give support to his teammate, but no, he's gonna fall. Keith and now Vortex, a 1v1 situation. Keith definitely has the advantage here when it comes to the health left on the board. We'll see what Vortex is gonna be able to do here. D-Light is gonna go ahead and pick him up, jumping over the weapon throw, Sarah to Keith. Okay, caught him with the neutral. Ooh, reaching up with the grab to cancel. D-Light can't find a home for it though. Okay, that is going to be an easy confirmation. It had enough. It had enough, Sparky.
There, okay. I tell you what, if I hit that in a ranked game like I tried to earlier today, it was not KOing. I'm just saying.
Yeah,
that one,
but that's because you played
just
Vrax.
A little bit of mustard on it.
You played Vrax, though. He doesn't have as much oomph. Not as much oomph.
So yeah, a great ending to that one. Keith headed into that one with about an 80 damage lead on his opponent. He was able to like keep control, even though he started taking some damage over on the right side. He was like kind of stuck on that right corner. It was looking a little bit rough for him there. Could have maybe been a down sig over the corner or a side sig right over the corner. That would have maybe spelled disaster for him, but he was able to lock it in, bring it back, and hit that side air for the KO in the end.
The difference really was it came down to Keith and that stock, the way he was able to tank that for so long. If he wouldn't have been able to hold on to that stock as long as he did, I think the end of that game would end up very differently when it came down to being so close as it was. But Keith and taxiivation gonna go ahead and put one on the board as we get ready and get in here into game at number 2. As we're seeing both these teams just kind of break off in a neutral and trying to find their openers. Ooh, nice little, almost little team combo opportunity with Keith and taxiivation there.
Yeah, it was a great neutral air into the in-light from Keith, and then I believe a neutral light after that on the ground from taxiivation. And they're doing it again. Oh, how did that get interrupted?
Oh no, but taxiivation coming over with the signature, that's gonna connect.
Side sig? I think he might have just improperly spaced the side stick to finish that one off, because that was, again, that great neutral air from the gauntlets into the in light from Keith's lance. They are grabbing that one. They've already grabbed it twice this game, and we're less than a minute in.
taxiivation survived that. That's crazy. There was a lot of force coming off of that stair. Keith trying to put down a guard for taxiivation. Vortex all alone, gonna go ahead and hit the ground pound on taxiivation. Big recovery, gonna send Keith way up to the top, and that is gonna finish him off the recovery off the gauntlets. Weapon throw just to make sure that that one is confirmed as well, and we're gonna tie the stocks all back up here. It was looking like blue team was gonna run away with this one. They were coming out a lot more assertive here in game number 2, but red team's done a good job bringing it back.
Yeah, we have a really, really nice game here. Now, Vortex is starting to take some damage. He's going to have to be a little bit careful. You see him sitting in the middle of the stage. Takes the D-Light into the turnaround neutral signature from taxiivation. That's not what he wants. He was disarmed after that, and it took him a long time to get back, and then he got KO'd, and now Plum might be in a rough spot. That D-Light is going to miss.
No, but he did a really good job. He put on a little damage, did not take any against himself. Great job handling that 2v1 situation from Plum. Keith coming back up on stage. The dare is going to connect against Vortex. taxiivation there to clean it up with a side light. Ooh, great job as he picked up the spear, keeping both red players at bay, sending them all the way over to the right side here. See what's going to happen off stage. Keith is going to go ahead and catch him. D-Light into ground pound.
taxiivation. He's kind of playing a little bit safe around that soft platform. I'm not sure exactly why, because his health is great. I mean, everyone's health is great. I don't know if he was just trying to catch his opponent high so that he could finally grab that KO on a Vortex, send everybody down in their final stock. Plum now in the orange. He's got to be careful. Vortex in the orange as well. Blue team looking like they could wrap this one up. They're like one color change ahead of their opponents. Side stick from Keith. He goes in big with the ground pound, and he's able to stay safe with the weapon toss above. Very smart gameplay. Now getting the KO onto Vortex and the KO onto Plum. taxiivation ends that one. It's definitely not April 15th.
No, absolutely not. That was good. We definitely saw a synergy. Yes, and for you guys didn't get Sparky's joke there. The synergy definitely started to come out between Keith and taxiivation there in game number 2, and it definitely gave them the advantage. Clean win from them there in that second game, and we're gonna take it and see if they can just get a clean 3-0 sweep here in winners finals and send LaPum and Vortex down to defend themselves in elimination.
And with this game, they're actually moving, the red team is, away from the double Chun-Li. Vortex is moving on to this Hattori after we thought was going to be a double Chun-Li, ended up being a Brin and a Chun-Li, and now is a Hattori and Chun-Li, so still holding on to that spear for Vortex.
You can definitely tell what his preferred weapon is out of his selections, and definitely reaching for anything here, trying to get something moving here with all of these different legend selections. Plum reading the air here, but Keith makes his way back down the stage. Nice nair. Coming over and catching Plum. taxiivation not able to follow up though, but he does catch a dare to the top of his head and barely makes his way back over to the side of the stage and almost gets taken out at the top. But still unarmed, he cannot find a weapon. Still unarmed, and he gets knocked out by his teammate. Oh no, that's very unfortunate. And Keith almost got knocked out there as well.
Yeah, taxiivation was stuck. Like he moved over into the right lane as Vortex was coming down with the ground pound with the sword on the left side. Then when he was over, and then he moved back away from the right lane into the left lane, and then Keith came down with the ground pound. So that was just tough. But there's one stock. If they can get this stock off of Plum, he's the one who's now disarmed. There's the ground pound just to safely land back on the stage, grab a weapon. Vortex is able to grab one as well. The side air sending Keith over far on the edge. Plum coming in with the ground pound. Keith completely disengages, goes back onto the main stage.
Here he goes back down into neutral. Plum though looking for that opening, comes out, just throws a signature out there. Keith with the easy punish. Gonna chase Vortex off stage here.
Keith,
2v1 pressure. Great job staying out of that. Oh, taxiivation is gonna go ahead and knock Keith out off of that, putting damage on both of his opponents. However, Plum reaching with recoveries, trying to catch one up on the top of the stage, can't find it. Tried it with the ground pound off stage as well, can't find a home for it either. As Plum puts a little damage on Keith. Finally has that lance back in hand, but Vortex is gonna be there to pick him up with the sword.
Oh, the neutral signature comes out from taxiivation. He was looking for a follow-up, but he ended up hitting his teammate and caught a side air to the back of the head. That's going to be taxiivation's second stock with a great D-Light recovery pickup from Vortex as taxiivation was going over for the weapon spawn. Keith has to be careful. He's just going to burn a side sig right there. G-Seed above the stage, doesn't find anything with it, has to be careful. He was like ahead of basically everyone else in the game. He's not in a terrible spot right now. He's kind of on the border between orange and red. There's the D-Light recovery from Vortex. See, it's not enough to KO. There's the recovery from Tax Evasion. The blue team still barely holding on here to this tiny lead.
Yeah, red team is just right there. They have been pretty much every game. I mean, last game it definitely went in the favor of Tax Evasion and Keith, but they're just right on that cusp of not being able to get the W, and they're so close here again as everything is completely tied up here. They need to keep the aggression going, keep that damage flowing. See if they can go ahead and put one on the scoreboard here. Nice Sarah against Tax Evasion. He comes back with one of his own though, getting taken dangerously to the top of the stage. Plum trying to catch landing. Sarah's gonna send him out. Tax Evasion staying out of the way. The weapon throw. Can anybody put pressure on him? No, he's able to find his way back up on stage and now has gauntlets back in hand.
If Vortex and Plum can take out Tax Evasion here, that would be a bit of a momentum shift. There's the side air from Plum. See if they can get this 2v1 onto Keith. Keep himself alive in this set on the winner's bracket. Oh,
he dropped
I
it!
didn't know what you were going for there. Vortex tried to set you up with the D-Light down air to give you the follow-up. There's the side light, goes for the GC side light, same direction. There's the down air, no bounce. It didn't send over the corner.
Oh, here we
the
go.
side light into the recovery gets the KO. Plum!
Keith is so good at this game, bro. Oh, Plum is gonna go ahead and get the confirmation there, but my man Keith was cooking. He almost had that 2v1 in the bag, but Vortex and Plum are gonna put one on the scoreboard, and we're gonna find ourselves into a game number 4, Sparky.
Yeah, that was a great momentum shift right there. We could easily see, as we've seen so many times in Brawlhalla Esports history, this still like, oh, are the tides going to change? Is the tug of war starting to favor the other team? And it ends up just being a 3-1 in the end. But still, that was a nice closeout to that game, especially for this red team to barely hold on. Keith was doing a good job with his survivability early on. They were able to whittle that down. They were able to put pressure on Tax Evasion in the end to KO him, and they were still able to clutch out that 2v1 while Keith was going crazy, like you said.
This has been a good winners final so far. Definitely enjoying myself. See how game number 4 works out for us here. Keith throwing away the lance with a big whiff, has that axe now. D-Light gonna go ahead and connect against Vortex. Okay, Keith trying to get behind Vortex, gets a 2-piece.
That's huge. They got that dare. The final frames of Tax Evasion's down air got through the spot dodge from Plum or Vortex. Now he's taking a bunch of damage. It almost set up for the edge guard over there. Hopefully, if we can see Keith not ground pound Tax Evasion to the blast zone this game, we could see the blue team coming out victorious here. Tax Evasion was looking for the little bounce pass to himself, the down air into the gauntlet recovery. There's the inlight splitting up the red team, trying to put pressure on Plum. He sent Keith out, and he sent Tax Evasion up.
Red team is looking fantastic here again, number 4. Definitely trying to save this set, stay on winner's side. Oh, what a weapon throw from Keith. That was so clutch. Perfect timing. That Sarah and that recovery are both gonna connect, both gonna confirm, and just like that, blue team has snatched the lead back.
Keith is definitely not like the carry of this team, but he's definitely been doing the kind of the lion's share of the work. Tax Evasion's done a great job so far, but I feel like the more standout moments have all really been from Keith.
I have to agree. Tax Evasion's definitely been playing really good support, but it definitely has been the Keith show. However, on red side, Vortex and Plum working very, very well together. Oh, got caught with that side air across stage. So did Plum. Keith going for a third one. Can't get the dare, though. Oh, they're just all over the place in neutral, Sparky.
Keith has done such a great job. Ooh, no one's able to punish that one. That's unfortunate on that charged up DC coming out from Plum. But Keith has done such a great job of showing why Lance is really strong in 2v2 specifically. It's all the movement that you have as your opponent is pushing onto you. Like maybe the your opponent's teammate is going to counter punish you for what you just did to their teammate, and all of a sudden you're moved away, and then all of a sudden you can turn around and then hit them back. Like Keith's ability to go from one red team member to the other with the movement that Lance has is so great. His ability to stay in the air is so great. Tax Evasion now put on a final stock. That's going to be the second stock from Keith as well, with the GC D-Light into the recovery way high up there from Vortex. The double spears were sitting on the stage, and now Vortex has grabbed the sword.
Yeah, we're seeing blue team try and push things up into the air. And no, you're absolutely right when it comes to the way Keith is able to use the movement off the Lance. When you were talking, saw him save Tax Evasion from a combo because he was able to get underneath it with that huge range that the side light has. Ooh, Plum way high in the sky. Keith is gonna go ahead and confirm it. That puts Plum on his final stock. Vortex holding it down though on stage while his teammate respawns. Keith getting up underneath him with a signature. I'm sorry, recovery. Oh, he caught it. Grabbed it, kicked the side sig.
That's gonna split up, okay.
Vortex is super deep on that second stock. He's taking a lot of damage. That Sayer is gonna go and finish it off from tax evasion. Plum left all alone with both these blue team members. Oh, Vortex coming in, gonna go ahead and confirm the stock unarmed. And now we got a 2v1 situation against Keith. And I think we might just get pushed to a game 5, Sparky.
I think we might. This one's going to be much tougher for Keith to come back from. There is a little bit of overlap from the red team. They haven't seemed to like get all their ducks in a row. They don't seem like fully organized on how they want to play this 2v1. They're kind of just like both going after him, hoping that the health lead that they have is going to be enough to just like get through if they keep throwing out attacks, which it might be. There's the side air. Not enough to KO. Plum able to get back after throwing his weapon, grabbing the set of gauntlets, went for the GCD light.
I thought that pogo was gonna get Keith off the right side. I thought that was gonna be it. If he can put some damage on Plum and get a knockout here, nope, that's gonna go ahead and finish it up right there. Grab a Kittle D-Light into recovery from a Vortex, and they did. They were able to go ahead and clutch it together. They have won these last two, and they are gonna push Keith and tax evasion to a game number 5 here in winners finals. Not a bad way to start off the day.
If we look at the damage that came out from the blue team, I don't exactly remember the number, but it was like the mid 500s or low 600s coming out from Keith, and then 311 coming out from tax evasion. So he had a very difficult game. And on the other side, it's not like Vortex carried that game, but he definitely had more damage, and he had 5 of the KOs as well. So he's able to clean it up. Oh, there we go. We have the numbers right there. It was a 650. Goodness gracious, coming out from KeithThePooPoo, 650 to tax evasion's 311. So tax evasion's gonna have to step it up this game. Hopefully amber is the color of his energy. Is that 311? Amber, the color of your energy. It is. That is the song by 311.
Another reference that most of chat will not understand, Sparky. I'm
not really good at Southeast Asian references. I don't really know what they're into right now. Not bad.
Oh, man. All right, here we go. Vortex and Plum. I think this would be a considerable upset if they were able to go ahead and confirm this and get their spot confirmed in a grand finals. You pointed out the damage differential between Keith and tax evasion. When you're doing double the damage as your teammate, something is not right there. Definitely need to see a better performance from tax evasion here to be able to bring this set back for him and his teammate, and to help Keith out with some of this work that he's putting in.
Now on the other side, Vortex was the one to do the most damage for the red team, but this game, he's taken out first. He was the first one to lose that stock.
Yeah, but both players of red team did over 500 damage last game.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
They both were carrying the weight. I think last game could have gone very, very differently if tax evasion would have maybe put in a little bit more. But that is neither here nor there. We are in a game number 5, and tax evasion is already down a stock as they're trying to confirm on Plum, but he is super, super deep.
They gotta get Plum, man. They're just letting him find hit after hit. He's about to take tax evasion into orange. That D-Sig didn't take out Vortex. I'm really surprised. Yeah, we really need to be watching Vortex here, because tax evasion, yes, didn't do a lot of damage last game and is taking quite a bit of damage this game, but like Vortex was the first one on final stock. He was the first one on second stock as well. So if they can bully him out of this, if tax evasion can up his survivability just a little bit, if Keith can continue to hold on to this first stock like he's been doing throughout this entire set, over 2 minutes on that first stock this time for Keith.
That's your fault, by the way. He would not have been knocked out to a ground pound right there if you would not have talked about he was still on his first stock.
Yeah, you would have.
No, you literally changed the course.
I have no
you changed the course of history, Sparky.
Get it twisted.
All right, here we go. We're seeing blue team definitely brought it back though, but they're struggling a little bit more here in this game number 5. This could definitely go either way as this comes down to these last few stocks. Oh, they're kind of dialing in on Keith here a little bit. Already have him in yellow, putting the damage on him. All right, Plum being taken up to the top of the stage. Vortex reaching with the recovery, can't find tax evasion. Tax evasion retreating off stage. Plum is gonna be able to come over with the recovery back up on stage. Oh, just the sidelights back and forth, trying to catch anybody who will get in the way.
You said tax evasion retreating, and you're exactly right. He's just been running around. I swear, he's just been running around so much, putting out a very small number of attacks, a number of attacks you could count on one hand. And like, I understand, but he can't just leave Keith to do all of this, or maybe, who knows? Keith is really good. Maybe he just can't. Like, he's just running around.
If you can play really good support here and stay out of harm's way, oh, this 2v1 situation would be really bad for taxiivation though. If they can get Keith here, taxiivation is left all alone. It's gonna be a rough spot for him to be in, but he is still getting his 1-2s in. Oh no, a lot of pressure. Is he gonna have the options? He does have a path to get back up on stage. Plum's gonna hit him with the ground pound as he comes right back up top, but he's floating, flying. The Sayers coming out, trying to buy time, but Plum catches the landing, gets him out of here, and it is all up to KeithThePooPoo once again.
What a bold move to go for the ground pound. I understand what he's going for, but there's also another red team member there who's trying to solo him over on the right edge. He's forced Plum into the orange on final stock. Like, Keith is in yellow. He has the damage lead.
He can get Vortex out of here, though. This is definitely doable, but they will not even let my man land right now. There you go. Okay, little Sayer.
Oh no, bounce pass with down air and an air.
So scary, bro. Oh no, he's still okay.
Oh, he's living.
No, that didn't knock. What?
He's living.
Okay, here we go. Hold on.
It didn't knock. Maybe he needs a Tua here.
Oh, what? He wants his lance. He wants the lance. Very bold, throwing that weapon away. Okay, there we go. Recovery from Vortex's spear is going to go ahead and confirm, and that is not how I saw that set ending up. Is Keith and Keith and taxiivation are now down in the elimination side. Wow.
Now I think one of the reasons that Vortex and Plum came out on top there. First of all, I want to point out.